The test of the silent monk. In a quiet, mist-covered mountain, a young monk named Soren entered a monastery known for teaching the highest level of spiritual mastery. He was eager to learn the secrets of inner strength and wisdom. But Soren, like many others, was impatient and wanted quick results. His teacher, Master Jean, noticed this restlessness in Soren and decided to give him a simple task. Go to the river at dawn and sit in silence until the sun sets. Only then will you begin to understand the path to strength. Soren was confused but followed the instruction. The next morning, he sat by the river, waiting for something profound to happen. The water flowed peacefully, and the sun slowly climbed into the sky. Hours passed, and Soren grew restless. His thoughts raced, wondering when the wisdom would come. He kept looking around, waiting for a sign, but nothing seemed to change. By noon, Soren's frustration peaked. How can I learn if nothing is happening? He thought. He felt the urge to leave, but Master Jin's words echoed in his mind. Only in silence will you find strength. Reluctantly, Soren stayed. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, trying to calm his mind. As he focused on the sound of the river, the breeze, and the warmth of the sun, something changed within him. The noise in his mind began to fade. He noticed the beauty and the simplicity around him. The sound of birds, the rustling of leaves, and the gentle flow of water. For the first time, Soren was fully present. As the sun began to set, Soren felt calm, centered, and at peace. He realized that the lesson wasn't in words or actions, but in the silence and stillness of the day. When he returned to the monastery, Master Jean greeted him. "What have you learned?" he asked. Soren smiled and replied, "I've learned that strength comes from within. Through patience, stillness, and the quiet moments of life." Master Jean nodded approvingly. True strength is not about force or action. It is about mastering the self, finding peace in silence, and understanding the flow of life. From that day on, Soren practiced meditation daily, learning to quiet his mind and listen to the world around him. He realized that clarity and strength came not from rushing, but from embracing the moment. As time passed, Soren became known throughout the monastery as the monk who could sit for hours in perfect stillness, drawing power from his inner calm. His transformation was evident to all. One day, a young novice approached Soren, asking for advice. "How do I become strong and wise like you?" the novice asked eagerly. Soren smiled and handed him a small stone. "Hold this stone in your hand and sit by the river," Soren said. "Stay there until you understand its purpose." The novice, puzzled, took the stone and left, starting his own journey of discovery. Soren knew that the young novice, like himself, would struggle with impatience. But he also knew that in time, the novice would learn the same lesson, that true wisdom and strength are found in patience and silence. As the seasons passed, Soren continued to grow in wisdom. He faced challenges, but each time he returned to the river, the place where he had first learned to be still. He became a guiding light to the younger monks, teaching them that inner strength wasn't something you could rush. It was something that developed slowly, like the flow of the river. Soren realized that the most powerful lessons came in moments of silence, moments where the world seemed to slow down, and all that remained was the present. One day, Soren stood at the monastery gates, ready to embark on a journey into the world beyond the mountains. He knew that his strength came not from what lay ahead, but from the peace he had cultivated within. As Soren stepped out into the world, he carried with him the lesson that had transformed his life. Strength comes not from action, but from stillness, patience, and embracing the flow of life. Soren's journey continued, but the lesson of the silent monk lived on in every step he took. He understood that the greatest challenges were overcome not by force, but by the quiet power of inner peace. As he wandered, Soren knew that wherever life took him, he had already found the most valuable treasure, the unshakable strength within himself, discovered in the silence of the mountains. Moral of the story: true strength and wisdom are cultivated in moments of stillness and patience. To find inner peace, we must first learn to quiet our minds, embrace silence, and allow life to unfold in its own time.